guest of honor, who actually needs no introduction. Dr. Rajiv Singh Raghuvanshi is a distinguished pharmaceutical scientist and regulatory leader. He holds a bachelor's and master's from IIT BHU Varanasi and a PhD from the National Institute of Immunology, New Delhi. He has specialized in extended release formulation of vaccines. He has also completed the ISB Kellogg Global Advanced Management Program. With over 2 decades of experience in the pharmaceutical industry, Dr. Raghuvanshi has held key leadership roles at Ranbaxy Laboratories and Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, spearheading drug development, regulatory approvals, and global product launches. He has been instrumental in securing multiple US FDA approvals and engaging with global regulatory agencies. In 2021, he transitioned to public service, serving as Secretary-cum-Scientific Director of the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, where he drove significant reforms in quality standards and pharmacovigilance. Currently, as the Drugs Controller General of India, he is dedicated to strengthening pharmaceutical regulations and elevating India's global standing in drug safety and innovation. A prolific innovator, Dr. Raghuvanshi holds 14 granted US patents, over 250 published patents, and has authored numerous research papers and books. He is a sought-after speaker and a visiting faculty at premier institutions. With these few words, I have great honor in introducing our guest of honor, Dr. Raghuvanshi, to this august gathering. May I request you, sir, to please address the gathering.
Good evening. Yeah, thank you. So, respected Madam Anupriya Patel ji, MOS Health and Family Welfare, Mr. Bharat Shah, elected President for IDMA for next years, Virenji Bhai, outgoing President, Dara Patel ji, Mehul Bhai, Hamid sir, and all the dignitaries sitting in the hall. It's a pleasure to be here and again in front of a big and very important gathering for pharma field in this country. And I just want to also thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to come and talk to you again with respect to some of my experiences and what we are doing and some expectation from the gathering. So, as I always start my presentation by saying that I am a proud head of NRA for a country which exports 40% of generics to US, 25% of all the medicines in UK, 60% of vaccines demand globally, and many more such numbers. And I don't have hesitation in saying that for the right reasons, we have been designated as Pharmacy of the World, and every one of you sitting here in this gathering has made a contribution to take us to this level. So I think this gathering needs a big hand. So, also, I know IDMA for years, and I don't have any hesitation in saying that IDMA is one of very few active organizations in the country in the pharma field, who I have also seen for last 4 years at least when I took some responsibility in government, that very few organizations actually come and talk to you regarding the betterment and upliftment of the profession and the industry as a whole. So I also want to congratulate IDMA for their 63rd annual day, and thank you for doing good work for the profession, for the industry, and for the country. And I'm sure this will go on in continuing for many more years and grow in the activities for the benefit of the whole industry and ultimately the global public health. We all know that the target for India has been set as $135 billion by 2030, based on the projections. And we also know, it has been discussed in many forums, that this will not happen if we remain doing business of volumes. This has to shift from volume to value. And for this, we also know that people like you have to do more discovery research, more complex generics, more biologics, and of course, more cell and gene therapy, the latest in the world, coming into this domain. But somehow, as a country, if you see, and most of you are part of reading through press and discussions at different forums, that as a regulator, we are still, on one hand, handling companies and making them regulatory compliant. And on the other hand, we have to deal with that extremely like cell and gene therapy and approval CAR-Ts of the world and the latest discovery research supporting all that. So we are actually caught in that dichotomy. And what we have to understand that it's very well said that when context changes, the content has to change. And as my predecessors also spoke about, the context of Indian pharma has changed and the whole world is looking towards India, and we have to change the content now. This is the high time. If we don't change the content, we'll be left behind. And for that, as a regulator, what we are doing, a lot of things we have done already, they are on ground in practice. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to repeat all of them. But certainly, one slogan which CDSU has taken up, which I repeat again and again, is be lighter on regulation but heavy on execution. So we are moving ahead with this slogan to be lighter on the regulation but heavy on execution. And when I say heavy on execution, you know the way historically for last 2 years we have been doing RBIs. The signals have been sent to the system that we mean business and we need to improve if we have to be in this business for the betterment of this country and for the betterment of the whole world global health domain. Some of the things which are in pipeline, which you will see shortly, which has been demand from the industry continuously for so many years, are the first one is the export NOC, the remaining part, where we are going to make it quantity specific and not the customer and country specific. And so we will make, I won't say the quota system, but we will give you one license for say 1 year or 2 years, depending on your history. And then you can make the product and export to whatever customer, whatever country you want to export that. So that is one thing which is coming very shortly, maybe a couple of weeks from now. We are heavily going to rationalize the T license system, which has been the demand from the industry. You will see more than 50% of T licenses we will remove from the system. They would either be just notification or they will not be there. And we will keep T licenses only for very critical things, which basically, and this is in the interest of industry, but more than that, it is in the interest of the regulator also, because I have to free up our bandwidth. Otherwise, we are not able to deal with the more value-added work, and we are still stuck in just making companies compliant and making them understand how to make paracetamol when the world is looking towards CAR-Ts of the world. So another good thing which is going to happen for long pending is the ACC guideline. We will be releasing it shortly. That will give the guideline for the ACC members to work within a framework, and also for the industry and the stakeholders to understand how to basically approach ACCs. Biological revised guidelines is under preparation. The cell gene therapy revised guidelines is under preparation. And all this you will see maybe maximum couple of months from now, this will be released. So a lot of things we are doing at our end, but you have to understand that it's a large system, a system containing more than 10,000 manufacturing units. And if I add the medical device into it, it goes beyond 15,000. And any system in the world, if it depends on the public money and the government resources, I don't think that's sufficient for handling such a big system. And for that, people like you, industries, have to collaborate with government to make it more and more progressive, compliant, and meet the expectations of the world. So role of IDMA-like associations becomes very important here. And I always, whenever people come to meet from different associations, I always request one or the other thing which they should do as partner of regulators to help us drive this whole system towards the future and meet the expectation of the global health value chain. So, at the end, I just wanted to touch upon a couple of points today also, that what is our expectation as an association from IDMA and other association representatives sitting here. One thing which I am very bullish about is the QR code system. And though we have implemented it on top 300 brands, people are compliant, they are putting on the package, but I don't see that awareness in the system. Neither customer is aware about it, nor the chemist who is selling it is aware about it. And there again, my request is that in the interest of the industry, in the interest of the company and the interest of the patient, industry has to take that lead role in making every stakeholder aware about it. The benefits of QR code, nobody can write off. That's probably the best thing which can support the counterfeit stoppage. So my request to all associations and industries, you can put some CSR money or whatever way, whatever model you want, but that's probably the most important for me today, that please take that awareness campaign and make every customer aware that what is the value of QR code. And one, which I always talk about, please help your members come out of this technical issues with products. I always see every month similar companies or same companies getting into NSQ list, same product coming in the NSQ list again month on month, but even then companies are making it. My request is, it's not very difficult. I, being a technocrat from the same field, I know it's very easy to correct all those. Associations can take a very important role if they support their members in solving their problems. I also have requested most of the associations, that please buy out some dossiers off the shelf available with CROs, give it to your members so that this every month on month issue gets corrected. But unfortunately for the last 2 years, I haven't seen a single movement in this benefit. So this is something I think will help the whole industry. And associations for me are made for taking the whole industry to the next level. And my, again, a request to IDMA, please set an example. And I think maybe once you take that step, others will also follow. So that is the second thing which I wanted as a request. And third, again, I have been requesting the big companies can always help the small ones, because big companies in domestic business, the model, most of the companies are outsourcing the manufacturing from the smaller ones. So please handhold them, select the serious players, please avoid people who are not serious. And simple indicator for me is, if you are not complying to quality management system, or if your product is coming every month as NSQ, there is some issue in the system. We have to ask that question whether you are serious or not serious. But if you keep supporting them without correcting them, that's actually promoting malpractice in the system. So my request is, please be careful. And I know you have very strong quality management system for your company. That is applied to the toll manufacturers also. But I see a big gap when we audit these toll manufacturers. They are not working as per your quality management system. And you have to be responsible for that, and you have to own that. So these 3 requests from my side to you. And at the end, just one request I have started saying now, that give the regulator a chance not to regulate, and the responsibility lies on you. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.